In Greek mythology, the Iliad and the Odyssey were epic struggles of epic length. But even if you combine the entire Trojan War and the journey home, you get only 20 years, 5 fewer than it took A Lange Sohne to launch its first sports watch. Was it worth the wait? This is the collector's take. Our journey begins in 1990 when the modern A Lange Sohne is incorporated. 4 years later, the company launches its first wristwatches. Fast forward to 2019, and Lange launches the Odysseus, its first ever sports model in steel, produced 1 year later in the white gold you see here. Lange is a revived brand, and if we want to be strict, the true legal successor to the original A Lange Sohne is the company we today call Glashütte Original. We're going to press the I believe button though, because this timepiece and the company behind it are simply sublime. While Lange had previously released steel dress watches, it had never issued a sports watch, and it saved its best for the Odysseus. It has a distinct Lange house style, a round case with sharply stepped out lugs, a little bit of a differentiation between satin and polish for a nice contrast, but it does have the image of a pocket watch transformed into a dress watch, and in that regard, it's very common with the style seen on the Dotograph, the Lange 1 or the Zeitwerk. Now, of course, this is no Cyclops. It has a day and a date. The Datomatic system gives you a quick set built into the crown guard profile, above and below. Each triggers one of the day and the date. It's beautifully integrated and stealth. If you didn't know it was there, you would never guess. The timepiece is thinner than it looks at 11.1 millimeters thick, so it sits low on a cuff, and while it is a sports watch, it easily slides underneath a dress shirt sleeve. If there's any Achilles heel to the standard Odysseus, it is the junction between bracelet and lug, which puts you in dire straits, caught between the Scylla and Charybdis of two pieces that just don't jive together. Fortunately, this model in white gold comes only on a strap, either rubber or leather as you see fit. Finish, well, it's nothing less than legendary. Caliber L155 is beautifully rendered in German silver, which is an alloy of nickel, copper, and zinc, with the copper giving it its lovely golden hue. This will grow more intense over time. Take a quick look at the underside of the buckle, BRO. A bit quirky to see a Swiss hallmark on a German watch, but Brogioli is the company that makes the clasps and bracelets and buckles for Lange, and it is located in Ticino in the Italian-speaking southern region of Switzerland. Take a look at the back of the case, SUG. The casemaker, better known by the name of its parent, Sinn Spezialeren of Frankfurt. Take a quick look at the dial one more time. The combination of the day and the date is consistent with the window-style time displays traditional on Lange watches and sets it apart from the riffraff at Patek Philippe and Audemars Piguet. The dial itself is made of brass, which is a bit of a change from the convention at Lange, which is to generally use sterling silver. So what we have here is dark rhodium on a brass base with white gold dial furniture, including the frames for the date, the frames for the day, the hands, and the indices. Look carefully up at the top of the dial and you will find the only color on the front side of the watch, a red index at 60. Standout features of this watch? Many. Starting with the water resistance. Here we have a screw-down crown and 120-meter water resistance, which is considerably more than any standard Royal Oak, and enough to match the Aquanaut and the Nautilus. This is the best loomed, non-lumen A Lange Sohne timepiece, and it even glows softly in low light, never mind no light. The pusher action, incredibly crisp, as sharp to the touch as the action of a fine column wheel chronograph, such as, for example, a Dotograph. The movement is not just beautiful, it's functional. Automatic winding with a 50-hour power reserve. It includes the first 8 beat per second rate ever featured on a Lange watch, that to better resist time deviation due to shocks and concussions. Though based on caliber L086, the 155 is upgraded to include a full balance bridge anchored on both sides to better brace the free-sprung balance against shock. The combination of engine-turned perlage, mirrored anglage, both fired blue and black polished screws with a freehand engraved balance bridge is the icing atop this very rich Greek dessert. The boxed set is acceptable, but not fit for a king of Ithaca. You have a cardboard outer box, an inner box with a sort of pleather covering. Inside, it's lined with real leather and it has a little pouch and cushion for the watch. We have a service network guidebook. We have a individually packaged microfiber polishing cloth, and then we have a suede leather wallet that contains the Odysseus user's manual, as well as a book entitled The History of Your Watch. Open it up, and on the first page you find the warranty document for the timepiece. Subsequent pages tell you how watches, including yours, are manufactured and finished at A Lange Sohne. There are 2 metal pusher adjuster tools, and whether you get this watch on the leather strap or the rubber bracelet, you will use that pusher adjuster to remove the strap or the bracelet from the case. This watch is nicely sized. At 40.5 millimeters and about 11 millimeters thick, it's smaller than it looks in photos. It fits well on my 16 centimeter circumference wrist, but also Sean's wrist. He's featured right here. His wrist is about 18 centimeters circumference, and he wears it well. The watch will wear comfortably and with a handsome proportion on a wrist as small as 14 centimeters in circumference. Who should consider this watch? Well, first, is your name Homer? Is your name Odysseus? Is your name Ulysses, the Roman equivalent? This watch is for you. Do you absolutely crave a precious metal Lange dress watch? Good, because you're probably going to have to buy one to get on the wait list for this thing. Are you a Lange diehard? Well, after 25 years and an epic wait, your ship has come in. Lange finally has a sports watch. Alternatives to consider. First and foremost, the H. Moser & C Streamliner Center Second. It's a lot cheaper than an Odysseus at $21,387, and no, I don't know what that is in ancient Greek drachmas, but Google is your friend. The Moser has better bracelet integration, a longer power reserve, and it's somewhat more robust in its overall construction, but it is less finely finished. It also lacks the day and the date function of the Odysseus. Another alternative to consider if you want to spend considerably less money is the tried and true Cartier Santos Large Blue Dial. It's loomed, it's 100 meters water resistant, automatic winding, and anti-magnetic. It has a superior aesthetic integration of bracelet with case, and the links and the junction with the case are brilliant. You have the quick switch system to swap to a strap without tools, and the smart link system to size the bracelet without tools. Well, the grass might always be greener on the other side of the Trojan fence, and so Lang & Heine of Dresden offers the Hector sports watch. It offers a better integrated bracelet, several dial colors, greater exclusivity than the Odysseus, as well as a lower price. It's worth your consideration. It might be hubris for Lange to say so I will. The new Odysseus is better than almost all of the roughly 108 other suitors in this ever-expanding product class. For watch enthusiasts who hear the siren song of Glashütte, the destination was worth the journey, and that is the collector's take.